My name is Bonnie Gibson. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I've been here since 1975. I grew up in the Midwest, but I consider Arizona to be my home. I've been doing gourds for probably 25, 30 years, and I have notable achievements, I guess you could call, of writing a book and teaching across the country, also serving as an artisan resident at the National Park Service at the North Rim of the Grand Canyon.
My name is Waylon Wirtz, and I'm standing here at my farm right now, which is pretty much all gourds. I've been growing gourds here for about 24 years and never dreamed I'd be doing this. I've been able to meet so many interesting people, whether they be the customers or artists showing up, and one of the most unique and talented individuals that I ever had the privilege of meeting and growing gourds for has been Bonnie Gibson, and I think I've known her for at least 20 years, and so much so she was even at our wedding and made us a beautiful gourd piece that we still cherish to this day. And over the years, it's been really amazing watching her teach and promote all of the gourd aspects, from artwork to marketing, and just all around a beautiful person. And it's been a real privilege to know and see all the artwork that she has done over the years.
Bonnie brings a whole new level of gourding to our community. She's very inspirational because it is a different level of art. It is something that we haven't seen before, and it's very relatable to anything from the birds to the flowers to the decorations, the embellishments. And people want to know how to do this. They want to make their own art. Art inspires in all of us, and she brings that to the table. What I love about Bonnie's art is that it's innovative. Other people that see her art are very motivated to learn a new form of art, to try something new. She gives that to us. She's a wonderful teacher. She's very patient with her new students. It brings a lot to our community to have this, and it's very enjoyable. What I find most impressive is her ability to elevate the artwork from the humble gourd into a fine art. When you look at it, these are really true, magnificent pieces of art. And she uses everyday things to embellish her artwork, anywhere from saguaro ribs to prickly pear ribs to whatever she finds out in nature gets included into her artwork.
The impact that Bonnie has made on the other artists and students is it's very profound. She is very versatile. She encompasses more than one aspect of art. She always encourages you as an artist to reach within yourself and expand your own knowledge and to be yourself. To describe Bonnie as an artist, I would have to use the word versatility. She sees art in almost everything. She draws from nature, she incorporates nature. The most remarkable thing about Bonnie is that she always encourages you to be yourself. She wants you to show what you think. She will teach you in her classes where to start with a piece, but from there you are encouraged not to follow just the pattern or just what's set before you, but to branch out and be yourself.
Some of the misconceptions about Bonnie's work is when I have a customer come into the gallery, they think that it's pottery, and then they are just overwhelmed by the fact that she has carved gourds and created such beautiful pieces of art. I would describe Bonnie Gibson's work as beautiful, breathtaking, amazing. It's something that you've not seen before. What I find most impressive about Bonnie's beautiful gourds is her skills, her techniques, the beauty of her wildlife, maybe the new interest of a contemporary design, using of different stones, just being so creative in what she does.
Most people, when they hear that I carve gourds, are curious about what a gourd is. Gourd is a vegetable, but it grows with a very hard wood-like shell, and you can carve on it just like wood. Gourd carving wasn't even a thing when I started. I probably was one of the pioneers in gourd carving. My very first class I taught in gourd carving was probably 20 years ago, and at the time I thought everybody was gourd carving. But when I got to my classes, I found out that everyone had gone to the big box store the night before and had bought a Dremel tool and knew nothing about carving. I only knew about carving on gourds because I was a wood carver to start with, and so those tools transferred well to my new medium. I buy most of my gourds from the Wirtz Gourd Farm in Casa Grande, Arizona, and they're really good gourds to work on. They grow in harsh climate conditions with extreme heat, and it makes them very tough and hard and solid. Whereas gourds grown in certain areas, they might be nice gourds, but they're a little more fragile, they're softer because they don't have the same elements working on them. But the main reason I really like the Wirtz Gourd Farm is it's only an hour from me, so I can go up and I can hand select all of my gourds, getting exactly what I want. Whereas some people that work on gourds and there's no farm close by, they have to depend on mail order or buy them through eBay or what other way they find them. And so it's really nice to be able to go and hand pick exactly what I want. Gourds should be around forever. They have been around forever. There's been gourds found in prehistoric sites that ancient people used as storage vessels and things like that. We're taking it a step farther by turning it into an art form. And gourds are like wood. Wood can burn down in a fire, so can a gourd. Wood can be cut and sawed, so can a gourd. So they're very similar to wood. The biggest difference being that we're working on a hollow form, and it doesn't have grain the way that wood has grain. But carving it and working on it is very similar to working on wood. I get inspired by a lot of different things, mostly nature. I love birds and I love wildlife and I love plants and all those things that go with nature. But I also get inspiration from random things like a geometric pattern on a retaining wall or a colorful ad in a magazine that has some aspect of design that just sparks a theme. I don't ever copy things. I use them as inspiration, but I get that inspiration from many, many places. Gourd carving has been great for me. It has given me an outlet, and sometimes you talk about having an emotion when you're doing something. I find that it's become a voice even more than an emotion. It gives me a way to speak to others without speaking. And it's good psychologically for me to be doing something like this because I tend to be a type A driven personality, and I can sit and work on something like this for hours on end without becoming tired. I don't know that it's a spiritual thing, but there is something inherently pleasing about working on something that comes from nature. We always call gourds nature's 3D canvas. My future in gourd carving is already moving on in other people. I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I've taught a lot of people over the many years. And for me, the best part about continuing gourd art is seeing the growth of all the students that have taken classes from me. They now have their own students, and so I see the gourd art hobby moving on in the future with new artists and new skills, and I'm kind of happy to know that I had something to do with that. If you're interested in trying gourds of any kind, carving or painting or whatever it is, my biggest advice to you would be to start by getting a library book if you don't have any other resources around you. There are plenty of books on gourd art. If you're near a town that has a club or they have a yearly festival, then I would definitely go, maybe take some classes in person, speak to other people that do gourds and find out, pick their brains. That's the best way to get started. You don't need to buy a million tools and supplies. You can start with just the very bare minimum. Find out if you really enjoy it before you invest a lot of money in it. It doesn't take a lot of money to enjoy gourds. All you need is some paints and a couple paintbrushes, and you can start that way. One thing that I've tried to do in my gourds is bring them, elevate them from a mere craft into the fine art realm. And the message I want to pass along is that you don't have to just make birdhouses. Gourds are much more versatile. You can make all kinds of things. And I do sell my work in a fine art gallery. There's nothing wrong with craft gourds, but I would like to have people recognize them as a fine art and equally well displayed in galleries along with bronzes or paintings or other things that you traditionally think of as fine art. The best way to get connected with me, if you're interested in more about gourds and gourd carving, is to follow my website, which is bonniegibsonart.com, or you can follow my Bonnie Gibson Art page on Facebook. I enjoy interacting with people on that page, and I appreciate your support and likes and comments. That's very helpful. You can get a copy of my book, maybe from your public library, on Amazon. But I encourage everybody to get whatever resource they can and keep going with the gourds, and I'd love to hear from you about what you're doing.